Good day, you absolute legends. Now, in today's video, we are going to be talking about a very controversial topic indeed. Now, just a little bit of context before we do get into anything today. As we know, since the release of No Man's Sky, since 2016, that every single update that Hello Games introduces into No Man's Sky has been completely for free. There's been no such things as microtransactions, there's been no charge for any additional DLCs, nothing. Everything has been completely for free. However, there has been some in the community, and it's only been getting louder and louder as the years have passed, saying, well, you know what? Hello Games has already given us so much, then why not let us start paying for some of this? Let's start paying for some DLC content and extra goodies, whilst others are on the fence saying, well, they've been doing it for free, so why change anything now? Well, in today's video, I'm going to give 5 reasons for and 5 reasons against paying for additional updates. But before we do get into all that, ladies and gentlemen, as always, can you please make sure for me that you're indeed still subscribed to the channel? If you need to resubscribe, please do resubscribe. Or if you have been watching me for a while and you like what I do, then why not consider hitting that subscribe button? But ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to get through today, so let's get right on into today's video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to be clear, Hello Games has not announced paid updates. This is a hypothetical situation, but it's worth considering what it would mean for fans, the game, and the company. So let's start off with the argument for paying for these updates. Now, the first reason is funding for continued development. Let's start with a basic fact. Developing high-quality game content takes time, energy, and resources. Right now, Hello Games fund No Man's Sky through initial game sales. If they introduce paid updates, it would mean a more stable, consistent revenue stream that allows them to plan ahead and aim for bigger, more ambitious goals. Imagine the possibilities with new planet types, expansive lore, or even new gameplay systems like advanced space battles or deeper base building mechanics. These kinds of additions take immense resources to develop, especially for a small team like Hello Games. If they had the revenue from paid updates, it could empower them to take creative risks and keep the game expanding in exciting directions for years to come. With this financial support, Hello Games could push the game's universe even further, making it a richer and more immersive experience than ever before. So next up, we have higher quality updates. As players, we all want the highest quality experience possible. With paid updates, Hello Games might have more time and resources to refine and polish each new edition, instead of potentially rushing to release new content for free. Paid updates could ensure each expansion is well tested, free of bugs, and packed with meaningful content. Let's think about other games with paid expansions like The Witcher 3 or Destiny 2. In those titles, paid updates have often brought top-tier storylines, new mechanics, and polished worlds that add substantial value to the base game. With paid updates, No Man's Sky could benefit from this extra layer of quality and refinement. Now, the next argument here is supporting a small independent studio. No Man's Sky isn't made by a massive game studio with endless resources. It's the work of a small dedicated team that has poured years of passion into this game. Paid updates could be a way for fans to directly support the developers in a more sustainable manner. It would essentially become a community-driven support system that empowers Hello Games to keep improving No Man's Sky while staying independent. For players who believe in the game's mission and Hello Games' dedication to its community, paid updates could be a way of ensuring that their work remains viable in the long term. Okay, so the next bullet point I have here for the argument of paying for updates is more frequent and regular content. One complaint some players have about free update models is that the content drops can be unpredictable and take a long time to arrive. With paid updates, we might see a more regular, structured release schedule. A subscription-style model, for example, could let Hello Games commit to releasing a certain number of updates each year, with major major content additions on some sort of schedule. Now, at the end of the day, I know with the free updates, we do get around about 3 or 4 major main updates a year, and as a community, we've kind of like learned patterns and signals that we look out for to recognize when these updates are coming up, and we can get it to a rather accurate degree on when these updates will drop. We can kind of predict it. However, what if, with obviously paying for this, we could then get some kind of roadmap from Hello Games where they go, okay, this is what you can expect on these days, on these months each year. I think something like that would be incredible. Now, a set schedule could help keep players engaged in the game over a longer haul, and a regular cadence of updates could be a big draw for both returning and new players, instead of the current approach where updates are a pleasant surprise. Paid updates might create a steady stream of fresh experiences. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, for the last argument I will make for paying for these updates, this is very simple: added value for players. If Hello Games does go the paid update route, it could allow for truly substantial expansions that redefine the game's experience. Think of traditional expansion packs or premium DLC in other games, where players feel they're paying for something big. No Man's Sky could follow that model, with updates that include groundbreaking features like story-driven quests, massive new biomes, or enhanced multiplayer capabilities. For fans who are dedicated to No Man's Sky, paying for more ambitious updates could be a worthwhile investment that brings added value to the experience. So ladies and gentlemen, those are 5 reasons right there to why the community feels like paying for updates should be a thing. However, this is where the other side of the fence is, and here are 5 reasons to why the community thinks that we shouldn't be paying for updates. Now, the first one that I see pop up quite a lot is the promise of free updates. No Man's Sky has a very unique reputation in the gaming world, thanks to Hello Games' decision to make every update free since the game's launch. This was a conscious choice, and it was one made in the face of the rocky launch that No Man's Sky originally had, and it's part of what has helped the game regain the trust and loyalty of its fans. If Hello Games suddenly began charging for updates, it might feel like they're going back on that promise. Many fans could interpret it as a betrayal of trust, and it could lead to frustration, especially among long-time players who feel the free update model is core to the game's identity. Now, the second reason for against paying for updates is risk of splitting the player base. One serious downside to paid updates is the potential for splitting the player base. In a game like No Man's Sky, where multiplayer exploration and community interaction play a big role, splitting players into haves and have-nots could create friction. If some players have access to premium biomes, items, or mechanics whilst others don't, it could create issues in multiplayer mode and discourage some players from engaging. A fractured player base could hurt the sense of community that's central to No Man's Sky's appeal. Now, next up, we have unpredictable costs for players. Now, for players who have already invested in No Man's Sky, introducing paid updates could feel like constantly moving the goalposts. How many updates would players have to pay for? How frequently would they come out? This kind of unpredictability could make players feel wary about investing further into the game. A piecemeal approach to charging for updates might put off players, especially those on a budget or those who prefer not to make repeated in-game purchases. Now, the fourth reason I have here for against paying for updates is potential for reduced content in free updates. If paid updates became the norm, some players might worry that the remaining free updates would be minor or purely for bug fixes. Right now, every update feels like a gift, with big and small features alike available for all. But if paid updates start becoming the focus, free updates might be limited in scope, resulting in fewer improvements and less excitement for players who choose not to pay. And finally, at number 5, I have loss of unique industry position. One of No Man's Sky's unique strengths is that it's become a symbol of free, consistent updates in an industry where microtransactions and paid DLC are common. No Man's Sky stands out as a game that keeps on giving. This has earned Hello Games a lot of respect and loyalty. Charging for updates might risk diluting this position and make No Man's Sky feel like just another game chasing profits rather than prioritizing the player experience. This could potentially harm the goodwill they've worked so hard to build. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is 5 reasons for and 5 reasons against paying for updates in No Man's Sky. Let me know in the comment section what side of the fence that you are on. Do you agree with paying for No Man's Sky updates, DLC or extra fanciness, or do you completely disagree with that and just keep it the way that it is with the free model? Let me know your entire thoughts, comment section down below. You know what to do. But ladies and gentlemen, before I do let you go today, I just want to say a massive thank you as always to my YouTube and Patreon members. If you want to go down that route today as well and support the channel and the work that I do, then please do feel free to click on the Patreon link in the video description down below. It starts off at a completely free tier and then goes up to subsequent tiers from there, or alternatively you can click on the join button somewhere below this video to join my YouTube members, and the price for that starts less than a cup of coffee. But everything that I do get for the channel, ladies and gentlemen, is a massive help. However, ladies and gentlemen, truthfully, just leaving a like on this video, leaving a comment and subscribing is more than enough. But if you do want to go down the extra route today, then I just want to say a massive thank you in advance from myself for doing so. But ladies and gentlemen, that's everything from me here today, and as always, my name is Professor Cynical, and I'll catch you all again in the next one. Bye for now.